Physical planning setting the wheels in motion for a national land use policy, plus Salisbury protesters' trial adjourned to December, and police seek public's help in finding gas station robbers. I'm Idona John-Baptist with the Channel 5 News. Details coming up. First up, the implementation of Dominica's land use policy has been delayed due to the passage of Tropical Storm Erica. Andrea Louis has that story.
The National Land Use Policy and the National Physical Development Plan seek to enable effective land use planning in a coordinated and structured manner. Implementation of the National Land Use Plan, which was to come into effect in September this year, was postponed as a result of the damage caused to the island by the tropical storm in August.
The National Land Use Plan and the National Physical Development Plan will address a number of challenges to Dominica's development, such as the changing development focus from predominantly agricultural based to a broader based economy with greater emphasis on tourism. Greater support and direction will be given to the economic, institutional, and legal reforms required for improved land governance at the national and local levels, thereby ensuring that land is put to its most suitable use. Most importantly, the opportunity exists to foster climate change mainstreaming by engaging in proactive land use planning and integrating climate change adaptation and mitigation measures.
This plan will improve the Physical Planning Division's capacity to manage land development by addressing conflicts and changes in land use and the challenges faced by the negative impacts of climate change.
It will affect areas that have already been developed. Zoning would have to be done for the entire country, and the focus really is to preserve our natural resources and to avoid development or encroachment on our natural resources and to develop it in a sustainable manner.
Thus far, sectional land zoning for special areas in Dominica has been done.
We have done zoning for the Pocasset area. So we have a development plan for Pocasset to really control the density and the development in Pocasset. We all know that in the Pocasset area there are watersheds, and we are trying to protect these watersheds, so we have given guidelines and standards for development in that area. We have also done a sectional land use development plan for the Warner area, which is a developing area.
A 3-day consultation scheduled to start on the 9th of November will train stakeholders in the land use policy. Following the workshop, public education on the National Land Use Policy will begin. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Derelict buildings in Roseau have been a long-standing problem for the authorities, and the Roseau mayor and parliamentary representative say it will take legislation to address the issue. Let's go to Andrea again for that story.
Roseau City Council has had this on their agenda even before Irene John took up the mayor post in 2013. Former Mayor Cecil Joseph, who served for 12 years, has attempted to address it. Although Mayor John says under her leadership, City Council has plans to that end, she agrees it is not that simple.
There's certain legislation that has to be put in place to be able to deal with those derelict buildings, because you just cannot go and mow down people's buildings like that. Yeah, we made contact with a few persons, and some of them even forgot that they had those, buildings, that property. We made contact with a few, and we just, waiting for feedback from them as to a way forward. Quite a few of them are overseas. Yeah, you have vacant lots, you have the derelict buildings, and they are there and they just couldn't be bothered or even forget that they have those buildings. Families, they're all dead, and they live overseas. So we are in contact with a few of those persons.
Parliamentary representative for the Roseau Central constituency has called for a joint effort with the City Council and Environmental Health Department to approach the situation.
I, on my side, am advocating that those different institutions like the City of Roseau, the Environmental Health Department and the Ministry of Health, and those departments, we should come together and to actually implement a program that would ensure that those places that if the people cannot do anything about it right now, they can actually take actions to mitigate against the environmental problems.
He thinks enacting regulations could help improve the appearance of the city.
And within those that are living with it, we'd have to look at the architectural heritage of it. In regards to these that I'm speaking of, in regards to their architectural integrity and also their historical importance.
Isaac says some abandoned buildings in Roseau can also be converted to be more pleasing to the eye.
I am supporting a move where the government can look at imposing taxes on those derelict buildings so that there will be a kind of punitive action for people that have these derelict buildings that are bringing, let's say, rodents and all other types of environmental problems for us in Roseau.
Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
On the court scene, a 4-year-old fatal accident case in which a Shawford woman was charged has been thrown out by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. Lurian Graham Carter has more.
This has to do with a January 5, 2011 accident which caused the death of 44-year-old Kirk Ian Didier. Didier was walking on the Silver Lake Road when he was struck by a Nissan car being driven by Lizette Thomas. Didier had gotten head injuries and died later that day. The woman was charged for causing the death of Didier by dangerous driving a few weeks later. On Tuesday, Director of Public Prosecution Evelina Baptiste told the High Court that the state had filed a notice of discontinuation on October 23 in the matter. Thomas was fined $20,000 for failing to stop when the accident occurred and driving without a valid driver's license. She now walks away not having to be tried by a judge and jury.
The trial involving a group of Salisbury residents accused of riotous behavior has been adjourned to December. The first batch of Salisbury residents accused in the May 11 protest expected a trial to start on Tuesday at the St. Joseph Magistrate Court, but that did not happen. They are charged with disturbance of the peace after the May protest in which outraged residents of Salisbury blocked the Salisbury Highway to get government to address deplorable farm and village roads. They were arrested in the community on June 11. That incited another protest by the people, causing them to block the main road for a second time. The prosecution had been given a September 30 deadline to make submissions, but the court learned on Tuesday that the prosecution was not ready to proceed with trial. The matter has been adjourned to December 8 to coincide with the same time others from Salisbury charged for related behavior will return to court. This is Channel 5 News. Which one of the sectors a National Reconstruction Task Force is making priority? Stay tuned for that story and more. Welcome back. 2 men are on the loose after an armed robbery at the Rubis filling station at Castle Comfort Monday night.
A security officer was shot and the robbers made good their escape following the 8:45 p.m. incident. One of them was carrying a firearm, according to police. The gas station security officer is nursing gunshot wounds at the Princess Margaret Hospital.
An unspecified amount of cash was stolen from the establishment by the robbers. In the process, one male security guard sustained a gunshot wound to his upper left thigh. He was taken to the PMH, where he is now a patient on the Alford ward. The police are investigating the matter and is asking the public for assistance in solving this investigation. Anyone with information can call the CID at 266-5165 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477.
The manager of the station was unwilling to comment on camera, but he confirmed that a gas pump attendant and security guard were on duty at the time.
In tourism, Dominica's yachting sector is getting more attention as the country seeks to increase the number of tourists to the island.
Former Director General of the OECS and the current OECS ambassador in Brussels informed the media that yachting can be used to bring people to Dominica to experience the country's sights and the culture. Dr. Ishmael stated that the yachting sector throughout the Caribbean can be further developed to significantly boost the tourism industry in the region.
This island is what the islands used to be. What you have here is exactly what people want to experience. And so we've got to find ways in Dominica of making sure that people, one, can come, two, that there are services and infrastructure, and three, that we have services and infrastructure that allow people to be able to access the land from their boats and be able to spend and contribute to our development here in Dominica. And that's what the yachting strategy does for this island.
Minister for Tourism says the budget allotted for the tourism sector will be used to tweak Dominica's marketing strategy to appeal to yachters in the region.
As part of our marketing strategy, we had planned to also increase our advocacy and our marketing in the neighboring islands, because they're so close to us. You can get a lot more persons coming to Dominica, and they're much closer, which is a lot more affordable. And so even down in the area of Portsmouth, you have an organization called PEAS, who are doing an excellent job in terms of managing and providing services to the yachting sector in Dominica. And they have done such an excellent job that we are also even being seen as a model with regards to how security, to the point that the Ministry of Tourism actually supports PEAS in terms of providing the vessels and certain materials that they would require.
Infrastructure to accommodate an increased number of yachts to the island is also on the cards.
A revised committee will be formed, putting together the private sector and the public sector to ensure that we come one with the yachting policy, and also all the other things that are required. In the meantime, we will continue to support trying to put these small jetties in the strategic areas that would allow the visitors to have a proper access to the country. So the jetty imports that PEAS is doing is actually financed by the Ministry of Tourism.
Dr. Len Ishmael was in Dominica to report on a study that had been conducted showing the country's potential opportunities for a developed yachting sector. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Tourism is on top of the agenda for government-appointed Reconstruction Task Force. A strategic framework being mapped out by the task force will be guided by the tourism, agriculture, business, and social services sectors.
It's difficult to do all of these things simultaneously. So we have agreed that we will start with tourism because it is now a major revenue earner for the country and because tourism is so important and has so many facets to it. So we will start with tourism, but you can't speak of tourism without speaking of agriculture, because in any new tourism program, you want to ensure that agriculture is actually contributing to making tourism a success. So while we speak tourism, we will also speak agriculture. We must also speak about services. And if you're talking about sustaining livelihoods, people who have been displaced, some of them may have been earning through tourism, some may have been earning through agriculture.
The National Reconstruction Task Force expects to be more visible in the coming weeks.
And over the next few weeks, the public can expect to hear us engaging in consultations with various groups. Some of it will be focus groups, some of it may well be town hall type meetings, some of it may be actually going to various groups wherever they are. But yes, certainly these consultations would be in a manner that we can speak to as many people as possible.
Finally, the staging of the National Cooperative Credit Union's Caddis-Lipso show has been moved back to the Newtown Savannah. This is the second time the organizer is announcing a change in venue. The show was initially planned for the Newtown Savannah, but was later announced it would be staged on the Pottersville Savannah. However, after sorting out logistical issues, the planning committee says it has fulfilled fans' preference to having the show at Newtown. NCCU held a news conference on Tuesday to announce the change. The vision is to...
Right now, last year we included for the first time band segment, and that worked out well. And we are now expanding the band segment. As a matter of fact, the notion that we should probably have two shows is now coming on board, one for individual artists on one night, and the next night have a show for bands. So that's something that may become a reality next year.
In the absence of World Creole Music Festival, the Caddis-Lipso show is being seen as an opportunity to capitalize on the patronage of Creole Fest patrons. The event will take place this Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
About 4 weeks ago, we had a marketing exercise in Martinique. We sent IU across to Martinique to do some marketing campaigning to attract people to come to Dominica. We're looking down the road to make that a regular feature, whereby every year we'll go across to either Guadeloupe or Martinique, or both of them, to attract people to come down to the festival. And the issue that we were having before with our show was that our show was 2 weeks before Curl Festival, 1 week before Curl in the Park. And at that time, there were much patrons in terms of returning Dominicans and stuff like, and foreign visitors.
Next, your sports highlights with Kenny Williams.
In cricket, West Indies cricketer Lendl Simmons has been ordered by a court to pay US $23,692 to his ex-lover for allegedly leaking explicit photographs of her. The ruling was passed down in a Port of Spain court on Monday by Justice Frank Cipersad. The two were at the time in a relationship when the photos were taken. The court ruled that Simmons' action caused embarrassment and distress to the 24-year-old. Therefore, he is entitled to pay the specified sum. This weekend will see Week 5 of the DFA Lime Premier League. Sunday's matches saw Icons with a 1-0 victory over Steel Bombers, while rookie Signman suffered a 3-1 defeat against Dublin. This is what Icons centre forwards player Len Walter thought about his team's performance on Sunday.
Well, it'll always be the same game for Len. Every time I touch it, feel it's the same performance. But today there was a little harder. We got plenty opportunities in the first half, and then we didn't get it. Because I said to you, you alone. When a man say you alone, you're supposed to know as a player. No pressure on you and you're rushing. That should have been 4 goals against Portsmouth on the first half. We have to buck up if we need to play better in the second round and the games to come.
Meantime, captain of Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers says his team's defeat should not have happened.
I don't think the game was all that for us. We didn't play our best, and I think we need fitness. Not really a problem to us, but we need to work coordination, chemistry and all that. We need to work harder, and that wasn't a game for us to lose. But I think fitness was a little problem to us for real, and we need to gain more fitness on that. We need to work on that. Well, we need to fix our defense. If we have a defense and they spread the ball on the wing, we have more chemistry for us to work. And in midfield, we need a stronger midfield. And we have the speed. All we need to do is score goals, take our chances.
On Saturday, Exodus saw a 2-2 draw against Harlem, while Bath State defeated Sagicor Southeast 2-0. On the beach handball scene, plans are afoot to formally introduce beach handball as a sport locally. This development comes on the heels of a 4-day training session for officials and coaches of beach handball. The Dominica Handball Association is 2 years old and is an affiliate of the Dominica Olympic Committee.
Dominica Football Association, Dominica Volleyball Association and Dominica Handball Association will together work with the Dominica Grammar School. There is a large area in front of the newest grammar school, you may say, the L-shaped building that is towards Bath Estate. And we would probably temporarily dig a sizable field and have it filled with with sand, and hence all free sports can be played. And it will not be played during school time, but in the afternoons and the late evenings. Hopefully we may put lights there.
Wilson says it's an exciting sport which will encourage especially young women to remain active in sports.
But more importantly, it fits into the vision of handball development in Dominica. That is to have more women involved in sport, because that is a major problem. We recognize from third form persons or young women sort of drop out. So we want many women in a team sport where we can make progress.
And finally in Domino, Valley Vibes of Paybush walked away with $800 when they won the finals of the Rosalind Paul Domino League this weekend. The Paybush team racked up 3,027 points to secure first place, while first and second runner-up went to One Case and Paybush Strikers respectively. One Case was awarded $500, while Strikers secured $250. The top scoring pairs went to Mark George and Reginald Desborn, who each received a trophy.
The objective, while it has to be competitive, but the bigger idea is to bring people together to socialize for social interaction, and to get involved in positive activities within the community. So I feel very honored to be a sponsor, the main sponsor for this league, and it is going to be an annual event, God's willing.
We now join our friends from the Met Office for the weather report.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. We'll start off this evening with today's infrared satellite imagery. A trough system located just east of the Lesser Antilles provided enhancement to low-level clouds moving into the area, and visible satellite imagery showed mostly cloudy skies across Dominica and the islands to the north of the chain. Meanwhile, today's radar imagery indicated scattered showers across the Lesser Antilles during the course of the day. Tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy with a few scattered showers. And tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers are expected. Sea conditions tomorrow will be slight to moderate in open water, with waves picking up to 5 feet. And looking ahead, unstable conditions are expected to continue to linger across the area, resulting in partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers into Friday. And across the Lesser Antilles tomorrow, thunderstorm activity is expected across the leewards, with occasional cloudy skies with some scattered showers across the central and southern portions of the Lesser Antilles. And on the international scene tomorrow, there's a chance of rain in New York and London, thunderstorm activity in Miami and Caracas, and clear skies in Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6 a.m. and will set at 5:38 p.m. For further information, visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have a good night.
That's news. To end news, the headlines again. Physical planning setting the wheels in motion for a national land use policy. Plus, Salisbury protesters trial adjourned to December. And police seek public's help in finding gas station robbers. Let us know what you think by emailing us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our news on Marpin's YouTube page. On behalf of the production team, I am Idona John Baptist. Join us again tomorrow.